Hi, I'm Roseanne DeTorres, and I'm the managing partner of DeTorres and DeGeorge Family Law. And today's educational video is about the types of custody in New Jersey. In New Jersey, there are two types of custody. There's legal custody and there's residential custody. What is legal custody and what types of decisions does it cover? Legal custody is actually the most important type of custody that we have in New Jersey. It has to do with who makes the major decisions for the children. These are the health, safety, welfare decisions, where the children will go to school, college, or daycare, what type of religious upbringing they will have, what type of medical treatment they will receive. It's really the most important type of custody in New Jersey because it has to do with the power and control over the children. And in New Jersey, there's a presumption that both parents will share legal custody. To not have legal custody in New Jersey, you've got to do something pretty serious. You have to be confined in an institution, have severe mental illness, have severe drug or alcohol addiction or something like that. But most of the time, 99.9% of the time, both parents will share legal custody. Residential custody, on the other hand, has to do with where the children will primarily live. And in New Jersey, we distinguish parents of primary residence from parents of alternate residence. And the parent of primary residence is obviously where the children live most of the time, and the parent of alternate residence is the place where the parent's home where the children reside less of the time. How do the New Jersey courts decide who will be the parent of primary residence and who will be the parent of alternate residence? Well, whoever was the primary caregiver of the children before the divorce is most likely going to continue to be the primary caregiver for the children after the divorce. Not always, but most of the time. There also is a distinction in residential custody between sole residential custody and shared residential custody. For sole residential custody, you have the parent of alternate residence exercising less than 2 overnights per week on average with the children. In a shared residential custody arrangement, you have the non-custodial parent or the parent of alternate residence exercising 2 or more overnights on average per week with the children. The reason this distinction is so important is because it has a significant impact on child support. So the more overnights that you spend with your children, the less child support you pay. How do parents determine when they're getting divorced? What is the schedule going to be for the kids going back and forth between houses? The continuum is dependent upon the level of conflict in your relationship. In other words, the higher conflict you have with the other parent, the more structure you're going to need, because you want to de-escalate the situation. You want to reduce the opportunity for conflict by reducing the level of contact that you have to have with the other parent to make arrangements for the kids and to make decisions for them. So high conflict, high structure. Low conflict can be more flexible. But everybody's going to have to consider the same sorts of issues when addressing a parenting schedule, and that has to do with where the kids are going to be every night, where are they going to be on weekends, is there going to be a different schedule for the school year versus the summer? What about holidays or special days off from school? What about the transportation arrangements? Are you going to live close to one another so that you will be able to equitably share the transportation, or are you going to live far away from each other? Who's going to handle the child care arrangements? Where will the children be cared for? What kind of preschool care or after-school care will they have? Who's going to watch the children if the children are sick? Who's going to take off work to do that? How are you going to share information about the children and their needs, school records, doctor visits, and things like that? And what would happen if a parent has to miss a visit for some reason? Maybe work has gotten in the way. Are you allowed to make that up? There are tools that we recommend high conflict parents use to reduce conflict, and that one of them is called Our Family Wizard. And it's a very good way to have sort of a warehouse platform of all the communications between the parents. There's a calendaring system, and it's also useful for exchanging information about children's expenses. Some custody pitfalls, significant others. Are you going to expose your children to your new love interest? When are you going to do that? Is that something that you should maybe forego for a little while? And how is your ex going to feel about that? Parental alienation is another custody pitfall. That is when one parent manipulates the children to be estranged or to reject the other parent. Those are very complicated situations to address, but we have been successful in helping other clients do that. Communication is another custody pitfall. You want to have open lines of communication with the other parent. You don't want to be unavailable to them. You want to respond promptly to requests for information and so forth. Some custody do's and don'ts. Do keep a parenting journal. This will help you if there's any conflict with the other parent about what's going on with your children and what the other parent has been doing or not doing. Make your home your child's home. Make that environment appealing to them. Be prompt with exchanging the children. Be flexible with the other parent for parenting time exchanges. For example, if they are running late. Maximize your parenting time by devoting that time, especially to your children, and not filling it up with other activities. And schedule some age-appropriate activities for your children when you are with them. Some don'ts. These are custody don'ts. Don't confuse your child support with parenting time. They are not the same, and you cannot reject the other parent from having parenting time because they're not paying child support. Do not use your children as a pawn or a tool to get back at your ex. Do not miss your scheduled parenting time. Do not use drugs or alcohol around your children. Do not talk to your children about your ex or the divorce. And please don't air your grievances on social media. So I'm Roseanne DeTorres. I hope you enjoyed this educational video on the 2 types of custody. Have a great day.